Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, do consider subscribing because I make videos on lifestyle, fashion, travel, beauty, food, vlogs and pretty much everything that I do. So subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon and follow me on Instagram. So today's video is going to be a little long, and as I always tell you, grab a cup of coffee or a tea and let's just sit and have some fun. Read the title. In today's video I'm going to talk about all the internships that I did in past 1 year and how I managed to get them, and about how they really helped and changed me as a person. Now I was really scared about making this video because I was not sure if I'm really good enough and what I did was good enough to make this video. But if this video can help at least one person or help them think about their career, then I'll be really happy. Especially if you are a student, this video can be really helpful for you. So now talking about last year around this time, maybe in June 2019, I was just done with my first year of MBA, and this was my summer vacation. I was not doing anything. I was just sitting idle at home when suddenly one day my mother just walked up to me and she was like, "Do you have a good resume?" I was like, yeah, I have a resume, like a normal resume. So she asked me like, "Have you updated your resume?" And to be honest, I did not have anything to other than my education to put in my resume because I haven't done anything till last year. So I asked her like, what do you think I should like really put in my resume? I haven't done anything much. Then she gave me a sample resume of one of my cousin who stays in US, and she's like, "Oh, just look at her resume, maybe you can just pick the format and everything." And then when I saw her resume, she's 1 year younger than me, I saw that she basically, as I told you, she stays in US. She did a lot of internships and everything, her graduation. We don't really have the culture of internships, doing a lot of part-times here in India as compared to US. People are doing, but it's not as rigorous as people do it in US. And then I was like, dude, if I'm going to walk up for a proper full-time job interview after a year, that is after finishing my MBA, I don't have anything to speak about other than what I've studied. I really introspected for 2 days. I was like, how do I do an internship? How to go about it? I had no idea. To be honest, there were not many people in my circle also who I knew were doing internships or like into job or part-time job. I didn't know anybody. So the first thing I did was I opened Internshala. I just wanted some internship. I wasn't even caring about if I'm gonna get paid. I just wanted something to put in my resume. So after like doing a lot of trial and error, applying for so many internships, and I swear I was not even checking like what's the job role and this. I was just checking if I'm eligible, just applying. So I applied to a lot of internships like that, and I did get selected in like 4 of them. One thing that really attracted me was a company called ISLI, Indian School Leadership Institute. Now, to be honest, till the day I went for the personal interview, I had no idea what the company was. I was thinking, oh, maybe it's a startup, maybe it's a corporate. I didn't know much about the company. In my interview, they were asking me a lot of questions about education society, what do I think about them, stuff like that, and I gave my personal opinion. I did get selected in ISLI. It was just a 2 months internship. I was monitoring and evaluation intern. I was told like you have to interview a few people. It's not a big deal. You will be able to do it. It's easy. In my mind, I was thinking, oh, I just have to go ask questions to people. They're going to answer. I have to know the answers and submit it, and that's my internship. Now, when I went into the company and I saw what they actually did, I was like, oh my god. So this company, it's not a company basically, it's an NGO where they work with government schools of Telangana and schools which are in the poverty areas of Hyderabad and other places in Telangana, where they train the principals of these schools of government and schools which are in below poverty line. Everybody in the Telangana government related in the education, they train them. Now I had to interview them. Like I had to go to education officers and like school principals and interview them, ask them questions about how they're doing their job. I was like, are you serious? I'm gonna ask questions to these people who are like into 4 of my age. They were like, yeah, this is your job. We train them. And ISLI works with these principals very closely because ISLI believes that when you train the head of an organization, the whole organization works properly. So that's why they train these principals, and they do such amazing job. Like they have changed lives of so many principals, so many students. Now I had to go and evaluate their performance, like how are they doing, how were they doing. So in this process, without even knowing what I was getting into, I was able to go meet so many people, so many principals in different sectors of education, different sectors of Telangana government, I was hearing such great stories from them. The kind of schemes that they're implementing for students in the Telangana government. They basically conduct workshops for all these principals, and I was lucky to attend few of the workshops as well. I was seeing how the training was happening. In the process, I was also able to visit TSW REIS, Telangana State Welfare Residential Schools. So these are the set of schools which Telangana government have created for all the people who are living below the poverty line, and they give free education for them. And I was able to personally visit these schools in Hyderabad and talk to the principals, see the amazing technology that they're using for the students. And to be honest, we all have 0% idea about how much the Telangana government is doing for the children, how talented these students are. We all know about how well the corporate schools are doing in India, but we have no idea how well the Telangana schools, the government schools are doing in India. So in this way, I was able to learn a lot of things. I was also working with people who are really young. They were the people who are like in the late 20s. I was able to see the team. I was able to know from where did they come from, how did they know about ISLI, and they all told me that they were coming from the other NGO called Teach for India. Now, all of you would have heard about Teach for India, which is like the biggest NGO here in India regarding education of students. Now, I know you all know about the fellowship of Teach for India, how Teach for India has a fellowship. You have to go enroll yourself, you have interviews, and then you do a 2 years fellowship. But not many of us know there are a lot of other career aspects of Teach for India as well. A lot of ways in which you can be part of Teach for India other than the fellowship. By the time my first internship was over in ISLI, I started in June, so it was August, June, July I was working there. By this time, this was the time I had to do my second year project. That what you do in MBA, you do a project, right? And I am an MBA finance student, so I had to do something related to finance. Now this is where my second internships comes into picture, where I was working in Karvi as a GST and taxation intern. I was sitting around chartered accountants and company secretaries looking at how these people do a company's GST taxation. This was my project. I was doing a project on GST and taxation process of India. I was just seeing how these people do the filing. I was also doing my project. It's such a new thing for me because what we study in books, I was actually seeing it happening over there, and it was very interesting because that was like a perfect corporate setup where you go at 9 o'clock, you come back at 6 o'clock, you're stuck in the traffic. You really get to see corporate life, and it is good, but it is it can be tiring as well. After my 45 days internship in Karvi, I was looking for a third internship because I really wanted to work again. This is when I came across a startup called JNM Education on a Facebook group where I applied for an internship, again not knowing what I was getting into. Now JNM Education is a German company which is situated in Berlin, so I did not have to go to a physical office and work. I was sitting at my home and working. Now I joined here as an intern. This is a startup, okay? This is very different from the two companies that I've worked before. One was an NGO, one was a corporate, and this was a startup. Now, the thing with startup is, it's a great thing because you're not only working for one thing, you're basically doing everything when you're working in a startup. JNM Education have taught me so much. I started working as an intern, as I told you. At JNM Education had few events that were happening in different cities. As an intern, I got to travel to 2 different cities as my internship. Not everybody gets such opportunity. Closely organizing events in 3 cities, 2 of them which I visited and one was here in Hyderabad, and I was also partially organizing the rest of the events in more 5 cities. In this way, I worked as an intern for few months. Again, I was working for free. I was working for free. In JNM Education also for the first 4 months, I was working for free. ISLI, I did get paid. In JNM Education and Karvi, my perspective was very clear. I did not want to go earn money. I just wanted to be part of a team which was so enthusiastic. I wanted to learn something. Now, because it was a German company, I really wanted to be part of it and see like how things work, how do a startup work, and how do things go about it. Now, that's an advantage with the startup. If you're really working hard, you're able to upskill your skills as well. Now, from an intern, I got a chance to be as a head of operations, and I was working with the whole team in India. I was working with a lot of departments, and till now I am working with JNM Education. This was my 3rd internship, and now I work there as a part-time. Now, the 4th internship, one of the internships that I was really wishing to be a part part of. Now this one came in October of last year while I was working for JNM. As I told you, I really wanted to be part of Teach for India. I knew I don't have the time and everything because I was doing my MBA to be a part of the fellowship. So I was just randomly going on the website and seeing, can I be a part of Teach for India somehow, other than fellowship. Then I saw that there's a tab called careers, and I was like, oh, so they hire people other than fellowship as well. Now when I went there, luckily there was one job for somebody from Hyderabad. I was like, dude, I don't care. I just want to be part of this NGO. Let me do something. And then I went, I saw that it was a social media and communications intern. I was like, apply. I just did it. And then luckily I got into it. I had few rounds, I had to do few tasks and all, and then I got into Teach for India. Now this was such a great experience because in ISLI I was working with principal. Here I was working with students. I was working at the ground level. As a part of Teach for India, I got to visit so many schools. We meet so many fellows. The people who are doing fellowship are called fellows. Now I was also part of many events that they organize for children. There's something called Kids Education Revolution. I was working there. So this was a 6 months internship that ended on 31st of March, and for 6 months I was working for Teach for India, and that was such an amazing experience. I got to meet the students so closely. I was able to talk to them, view them, collect all test things, post on social media, do a lot of stuff, and that was so amazing. Where I was working, JNM was a startup and I had to only work from home. I had the privilege to do something else as well. So that's why it's very important that you choose whatever company you're working will help you to do other things as well, not only just do that one thing. So these are my 4 internships that I had did till now. So here are my suggestions for you from all the ranting that I did till now. First one is start somewhere. Like I started somewhere last year. I just wanted to fill my resume, so I started somewhere, but I was lucky that I got the right things to do. So in this way, your intentions might be different. Maybe you really want to work, so start somewhere, start doing something. In the same way, I was also doing YouTube while I was doing all this. So start somewhere, start doing something other than what you're doing in your education, so that it also gives you perspective about all the other things that are happening in the world other than what you're studying. Second suggestion would be active on social media. By social media, I don't mean Instagram and Facebook, but please be active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is such an amazing platform where you get to connect with so many people. I am super active on LinkedIn. I just make connections whenever I can. And also be active on Internshala. Internshala has really good internships. Just keep applying wherever you can. Yeah? You'll just get it. There are so many online internships that you can do where you don't even have to step out of your house. Apply whatever you can. Try to apply as many jobs as possible. Third thing is update your resume. Now I'll tell you why. Now recently when I went to look for a full-time job, the HR was really interested to look at the things that I did other than my education. So when I wrote about ISLI, Teach for India, JNM education, obviously Karvi was related to my field. He wanted to know, oh, so what you did here? So this sparks a conversation when you have such things in your resume. My fourth and the most important in this video is do work for an NGO. Like it really changes your perspective towards everything. In India, we don't have this culture of working for NGOs. We don't have much idea about what really happens in these NGOs. To be honest, in NGOs also you get paid well. I'm sure this is one of your questions, that if you are working for NGO, do you even get paid? Yes, NGOs also do pay you well here in India, but the knowledge of people regarding NGOs is little less. So do a research about all the NGOs that are available. It's an amazing way of connecting with the society. If we are able to give something to the society by getting an advantage, you're also getting an advantage, right? Now I have an idea about what happens in the education system. What are these schools doing? What are the children learning? Sure, after a few years, I see myself being a part of an NGO, working there and just, doing that forever. So that really makes me happy. So definitely do give it a try. See different NGOs that are there in wherever you're living. There are NGOs everywhere. They need people. They need educated people to be part of them. So do look for them and be a part of them. Next thing that I also would like to say is learn languages. I am personally learning French and German. So learn different languages, not only to have a certificate, you should be able to speak those languages. That really adds up to your skills a lot. Learning a language is really amazing. As I was also mentioning about doing internship in fields that are not related to you, it is also important to do internships which are related to your field, because that also makes a lot of impact. You need to have and do something that's related to your field. Like I into finance, I need to do stuff that are into finance as well. Do certifications, do something related to your field, because as a student in India, they don't expect so much from you. They expect you to be able to speak, communicate, learn stuff, have knowledge, know some theories and answers. But it's also important, sadly, to know question and answers and theories and everything. So yeah, know them as well. The next thing which is so important is networking. You need to have a network of people that are doing different things. You need to have a network of people who are dancers, singers, actors, NGO, education, other stuff, people doing YouTube, people doing bloggers, fashion bloggers, IT professionals, doctors, engineers, everybody. You need to know somebody in at least one field doing different things. If you're an engineer and all your friends are engineers, you're doing the same thing for life, bro. And all your circle is doctors, you don't know anything about the rest of the things. My other suggestion would be, which is really important, as I told you about working for NGO, it's also important that you try, this is difficult, but try and be a part of a corporate as a part of your project or pre-placements, kuch to hota hai na वैसे. So be part of a corporate as well, so that you will understand what's the corporate culture, how difficult it is. It's not as fancy as it looks from the outside. That you will definitely know while you're in your college, not after you get placed and then ki हाँ यार ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. पहले ही you will know about what happens there. As I also mentioned about NGOs and corporates, also be a part of a startup, which is very, very, very important, because when you're working for a startup, you're working for everything. You're working in every department. You're doing everything. So that is so important. So yeah, try and be a part of a startup as well as a part of your internships. Now, if you're following everything that I've told you in the past few points, you will get an idea about what you want to do after your college. If you're able to do all these things while you're in your college, you will have an idea about after your college what kind of job you want, what you want to do, what you want to be part of. Now let me add one more thing. I've been doing all these things while I'm pursuing YouTube. So it's not necessary that if you are passionate about something, you don't have to focus on your career. What I did till now was my way of working for the society, my way of working for my career, but YouTube is my passion. Now you can follow your passion, do something for your career, also work for the society with proper planning and with proper guidance from your parents. Important to do a lot of things and try different things while you're in college, because only in college you're allowed to make mistakes. Once you are in a job full time where you're getting paid, you're not allowed to make mistakes. So try and make as many mistakes as you can while you're in college, and try and take every opportunity that you have while you're in college. This is all my experience and my personal opinions. If you have any recommendations and suggestions, put it in the comment section below. Now I hope my suggestions were helpful, and if you find this video interesting and informative, do like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.